40 Chevy, 4-wheel drive conversion. Decent.
There's not much to say about this experience.
Don't be a hater. There she is.
We are somewhere that you guys have never been before.
Pick up you a load of the tub of towels.
Can you jig it? This is done.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tim with Peace and Grease. We're back. It's more of the same. So if you've stayed around this long, you must really like me, and I appreciate that. We got more fabrication on the 40 Chevy today. If you can't buy it, build it. If you can't afford it, build it. You'll never learn how to do anything if you don't start. So, been building these rear, front leaf spring hanger brackets. So, what we got going on here, 40 Chevy, 4-wheel drive conversion. We already got the 10 bolt in the front. In the last video, we showed you the front axle mounts for the frame, long arm. I wasn't really sure what to do on the back. And to be honest with you, this project was just kind of sitting in the yard, so we're trying to keep it moving along. Part of keeping the project moving along around here is keeping me motivated. This motivates me. So I like 4-wheel drive stuff. I like the simplicity of what we're starting with. The straight frame, the simple cab, bolt it down, wire it up, make it run, drive it. Okay, so what I do have, I have a 14 bolt non-floater axle, which will probably go in here. But what I don't have today are U-bolts and spring pads. I probably got spring pads, but I don't have U-bolts. But what I do have is a 6-lug Chevy rear end. This is part of the stash I bought off Keith Moore, $500 square body stash. And I got a 10-bolt, 6-lug rear axle with the springs on it. There's only one drawback. There's one bolt they sawed off. There was two. I got one out. The other one I haven't started. I pounded on it. I haven't soaked it. If we have to, we'll break out the Mike Hill ball joint tool and we'll pop that bolt out. Hopefully we can save it, because what I'm going to do is, wherever a 10-bolt square body rear end bolts into, a 14-bolt square body rear end bolts too. And my buddy Josh Morganson has two 14-bolt Chevy rear ends. I just need to go get them, gather up some money, scrape together some nickels and dimes, and I'll be heading over there to get those. But I can't let that stall what's going on here. I have the 10-bolt mounted to the rear springs with U-bolts. What I can do is use that, and I have rims and stuff. I can use that to get it going, get my hangers in and built. So, didn't know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to forward link it. That would set us back. I got parts here. Leaf spring rear ends and 8-lug rear end, leaf spring rear setups with 8-lug rear ends. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, so that's what we're going to do. And what I've been building here is spring hanger. I ain't done yet, so don't look at it too close. But about out of gas, and that's the story of my life. But what I'm working on is gussets and then gussets. So what I want to try to do is, I started working on this last night. New video, you guys were watching a video, and I was working in here trying to catch up with the real fab work. That's what happens. You got to do the real work in here. So after the camera stops rolling, you got to catch up. So that's what I've been doing. I got another one. I'm low on gas, but I have the parts cut, and I'm going to try to at least get this one tacked together and the next one tacked together, and then once it warms up here a little bit, it's 12:30 here Monday. Once it warms up, I'll get the Bobcat. It's still in the trailer from going and getting the Ford car yesterday. So I'll get it fired up and get that rear end in here by dark and start getting things situated. Probably got to get another hole saw. I think they're 9/16 bolts. They got weird spring bolts. Chevys do. They're odd size. So that's what I'm going to do. So here we go. Peace and grease. On the grind again. We need a slogan like Joey Bra, and everybody's got a slogan, you know. I don't really have a slogan. I just keep working. And I'm sorry if I'm boring you with the same stuff, but the more work I do now, the more fun I can have this summer. This coming summer and spring. So that's what we're doing. Tree trimmers are back. They never leave. This is like a honey hole to them. They come here and they ain't got nothing else to do, I believe. I don't understand how that state pay tree trimming works, but whatever. So, got me a gusset here. I just want to eyeball her, get her straight. Now I've already got one of these cut. I need to cut another one, but I'll cut them as I go. See how good that fits right there, boys? See how good that fits? Geometry, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Alright. Let's cut one more of them. Save your scraps. Use them. Use your scraps. It helps if you cut the end off. There she is. I already got you set up.
Yay! Up there? Dang, thanks.
Drill, screws, drywall, tool, extra blade, charger.
I'm your maintenance man today, not your cameraman.
Drywaller.
Maintenance.
Drywaller.
Yeah. Do you see what's going on out here? Outrageous. They're picking up all the logs, but there's 5 trucks.
Just cleaning.
Yeah. It's the engineer's office, and
They
there's
camp out in front of our
3
house.
dump trucks and a guy flagging.
This thing.
It's outrageous.
Okay, driving backwards. Crane fork.
Yeah. There's a whole operation.
County. I probably know them guys.
Yeah, I'd say. All right, well, I gotta go get to work when he's gone.
I'm building brackets for your truck. What do you think of that?
They look really good.
That's gonna look like it came in the mail when I get
It
done.
looks really good. Nice work. I'm gonna go use my phone to film some drywalling.
I'm running low on gas, so I'm trying to tack everything.
Okay.
Love you, bye.
Love you.
So I always been an electrician. We was always partial to Milwaukee tools before they were popular and before they were great at batteries. They had the big hole hogs, and that's what we used to drill out houses. But I picked up a Milwaukee Speed Square package of 2 at Home Depot the other day, and I like its precision. I have old wore out aluminum Speed Squares. This has extra sharp edges. I like this. That's probably better for pencil framing, but this is better for a new marker and sharp lines. So go to Home Depot and get you a Milwaukee Speed Square. And while you're at it, pick up you a load of the tub of towels. Everyone who watches this channel knows that I love a good tub of towels hand wipe. It cleans everything. I clean my hands, my engines, I clean everything. I take the old ones, let them sit there, wipe down my welders with them and stuff like that. 1,100,000,000 uses. Free plug, Eric. Tub of towels, Home Depot, Milwaukee. Talk to me. Ain't going nowhere. Talk to me. Angles. Lieutenant Dangle.
Still working? Check. Check. Check.
How does this one fit? Nope. Decent. Could have been better. Decent. Okay. Now that's a completed bracket. We got to finish welding it. And, okay, so this is the frame. This is the bottom of the frame. This is the outside edge of the frame. This goes right on there. I'll have 4 holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably just do 1 hole here in the center because I'm going to fully weld all the way around it. But we bolted on for now. Then we're going to strip the whole body off, box the frame, and then we'll weld everything. We'll weld the nuts on. We'll weld the bracket on. We're going to box it, weld it, plate it. So we got one built. I've went out and test fitted over the leaf springs. This one's a little more open than I should have went. So we're going to close that in by 1/4 inch. I already got my pieces cut. I just gotta make my purchase, cut my little angles off, and do everything. So I'm gonna turn on some music and get to work. All right, here's where we got to slow down, do a little redneck math. So I did some measurements. Our stock frame is 35 wide to the outside. Our square body center perches to the center is 39 3/4-ish. So what we need to do is, we need to do a little measuring here, make sure I'm right. I know I'm right. We got to double check. Alright, let's put that guy there. I marked the center of my hanger, then I'm going to mark the center of my other hanger. Alright, now what I want to do is make sure that I weld this next plate on in precisely the right location. So flip that up. Let's get them at 39 3/4. $39 3/4. Check yourself a few times. Don't move them. 39 3/4. Double check it, or triple check that son of a bitch. It keeps moving on me. Alright, 39 3/4. Now, this is going to be the outside of the frame to this side of the frame. It's got to be at least 35. We want a little clearance. So, let's get a little, we're going to measure off of this plate. We're going to make a mark here, strike a straight line, tack her on. All right, we're at least at 35. All right, boom, weld. Perfect. All right, we need a gusset. We're over here at Gussetville, right here. Leftovers from cut them out. Use it, or you're going to lose it. All right, we're going to be able to get a small one. And a big one. Don't cut them all the way off, so I don't have to bend over. Probably wonder, why don't he cut those all the way off? That's twice I didn't have to bend over right there. Gotta clean them up anyway. Might as well clean them up. Clean the burr off with the grinder. All right, we got one more gusset to cut, but cut that in a minute. All right, one more gusset to build. Cut, tack in, then I'm gonna start doing some welding. Piece of scrap. All right, we spent the morning building our leaf spring brackets for the rear, for the front. This will be the front hangers. So I just ran out of wire. I have more wire, but I got to load it up, let everything cool down a little bit. Then load the wire, and I'm down to less than 40 pounds of gas, so I'm gonna try to get them burned in. That's my goal today, is get them burned in. And then I need to get some bolts and some probably new 9/16 hole saw. Drill these holes out, keep the momentum going forward. Then take a little break, let this cool down, and probably go get the bobcat, start getting the rear end in the building on jack stands, centered up, and then lots of measuring to go after that. So, break time.
All right, we are somewhere that you guys have never been before. It is Monday afternoon. I just got Sammy off to school. Since it's been so cold outside and there's not a lot of mowing to do, I want to focus on projects that can be done around here while it's cold outside and I'm not gonna freeze. So let's be honest. In May, well, actually in April, before our car show in May, I did some upgrades in the men's room, put some fresh paint in the shower house. So now we're gonna focus on the women's room. I'm definitely going to get this whole place painted because it's this lovely brown color. It'll probably just be white, just because it'll brighten it up in here, which it needs. Obviously you can see the lighting's not that great. Today, the first thing we're gonna do is work on this little dilemma we got here. Look at that ugliness. So, right here in this little bathroom stall is a hole in the ceiling. And I think an animal might have gotten a crawl space or something and busted it loose. So now, today, I'm gonna do some drywall patching and I'm gonna let you guys watch. So Tim's down there in the barn working away on my truck, God love him. I could be down there filming him, but I got work to do around here. So I'm gonna get to work on these restrooms. It's December 2nd. This is gonna be the first day towards many days of getting this place looking great before our show. So here we go. We are in tight quarters. That's our spot. Here's my ladder. I got a drop cloth down over everything. Look at these walls. They're gonna get painted and prettied up, at least make it look a little better. That right there, as soon as I saw it, I knew we had to get on it. So Tim got me the supplies I needed and we're gonna give it a go. So let's see what happens. This is my first time doing anything like this, so enjoy the show. This is real bad, you guys. I've got the tripod leaned up in the corner. I know it's at an angle, but I can't even get it to point that high at the ceiling. So we'll see what kind of camera angles I can get for you guys. They might not be that great. All right, that one's a little better, but it's still not even safe. So if you guys crash down, that's why. Here we go. This is real sketchy stuff. Whoa. I don't even know. I guess I'm just gonna start by cutting out the bad crap. If you've watched us for any amount of time at all, you know that we have snakes in this house. And there ain't nothing you can do about it, but I'm scared someone's gonna fall out here on me. Well, if it did, I would shit myself. You guys see me fall off this ladder. I ain't scared of snakes, but like if it comes flying out at me, it's gonna scare me. All right. I feel like that piece is already busted too, so I need to go down just a little bit further. That's how I feel about it. All right, I gotta move my ladder. I'm an effing mess. Like, I knew I was gonna be a mess. And I'm damn sure glad I got this drop cloth because this is effy. Not iffy, effy. Let's see if I can cut this from here without moving my ladder. All right, I made a huge mess and cut a big hole. That's the first step in the process. I got so much dust in my eyes. Whew, can't breathe in here. We gotta get out of here for a minute. Hold, please. Looks like I'm in jail. What, this would be my mugshot? I've never had a mugshot. Is this what it be? All right. I cleaned up our hole and I had to go find a measuring tape because Tim said that he got everything together for me, which he did. God love him. He had it all waiting, but he didn't tell me the measuring tape wasn't there, which is fine. I couldn't find one, and there was actually one right in front of my face that I didn't see, but I went looking in Sammy's toy box and found this baby. It's actually a real tape measure. It's just one of those small pocket ones. He's obsessed with tape measures, so I knew I'd find one in that toy box, and I did. So let's measure how much space we have here, and then we'll go cut our new pieces of drywall to screw in. Dude, there's two things I hate: concrete dust and drywall dust. I hate the way they feel, and they just like kill my lungs. I can't stand it. All right, 44 long, 19 and 44. All right, we have two pieces of drywall out here that Tim got for us. So let's go out here and get those cut. My whole screen's covered in dust. Probably my camera too. Does that help? That should help, I think. Oh my gosh. I want you to see the mess I've got because it makes me want to throw up. It's repulsive. Thank goodness that I put down a drop cloth. Oh my gosh. That's a mess. All right, let's get out here and get our drywall pieces cut. All right, that's about as low as I can get the tripod to go. So look at me. I'm a freaking mess. Look at my shirt though. Can you jig it? You know who you are who gave me this. Gregory and Naomi and Dave. I actually love this shirt and the way that it fits. So if you've got a shirt that's this style, send me one. 19 and 44 was our measurement. Tim bought us these lovely little 2 foot by 2 foot pieces of drywall. We're gonna measure out what we need. That's pretty good. All right, I think our line's pretty good, so I'm gonna get my little tool. I'm gonna cut this in the other room so that I don't make a mess out here. So follow me. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, my phone's saying we have a low battery, so let's be quick about this. I gotta get these nails. I don't know if they're gonna be better to take out or jam in. I don't know, but I guess that one came out pretty easy. I had to go to the barn and get a claw hammer because I didn't have one in the house. try attempt number 3. I know this camera angle sucks. I feel bad for you guys. This is a bad angle, but this is what we're living with today. Okay. I have a giant gap right there, but we'll fix that somehow. My dear, sweet, loving partner will be completely understanding of that, right? Well, that's what I'll say. Well, that's what Sammy always says. Well, so that's what I'm saying. You can see the giant gap that I have. There has to be a way to fix that, but that's better than falling down drywall. And I will fix it and make it look great. I can't get these open with one hand. He's gonna be pissed if I'm opening these and messed up, but whatever. All right. Another trucker. Well, we had a good one on there. Oh, wow. What the fuck? I'm like, first of all, I need glasses. Second of all, I'm like tearing up the drywall that I just put up there. This is dumb. Getting shit in my eyes. This is dumb. Oh my God. So I'm gonna tell you I'm frustrated right now, if you can't tell. This is stupid. I like this as a setup. Oh. See, look, I'm like poking holes in the damn drywall itself that I'm just putting up here because this doesn't want to go in. This is dumb. Ugh. Oh, cool. Ugh. Oh, cool. That one went all the way through. This is, I'm not a fan of this job, so let's just say that. But I guess that it will look better than it did before. We'll see. I don't really know. I don't know. I guess it won't be falling in. Let's cut another piece. Ay, ay, ay. There's not much to say about this experience other than I'm not going to apply for a drywalling job anytime soon, and it's probably a good thing because no one would hire me. At this point, I think I'm probably gonna have to Bondo the ceiling to fill the holes that I left up there, but I guess it looks better than falling drywall, so I'm gonna show you. I'm not proud, really, like at all, not proud of this job here. See my gaps? There's major gaps, you guys. What the hell do I do about that? I'm sure Tim will tell me, but I'm pretty sure that if anybody else had done that, it would not be as drastic of gaps as what I have there. But I guess it's not a hole in the ceiling. So I'm gonna clean this mess up and then I'm gonna figure out how you fix giant gaps in between your pieces of drywall so I can move on to that part of the process. And then we're gonna paint this place. Obviously not today. That was my project for today. So I gotta clean this mess up and clean this bathroom up and get Sammy off the bus. Thanks for tagging with me. That was not very impressive, so you're welcome.
All right, we're still at it. 6 o'clock Monday night. We got our brackets made, cleaned out. Didn't clean the welds in the hard to get places because who cares? I know you're gonna crawl under there and look. I don't care. Sometimes I do a fucked up weld just so you can find it. It ain't all gotta be weld porn, okay? Just keep making progress on your project. That's what we're all learning. So I went and got some bolts and some hole saws. Tried to drill these holes. I got one hole drilled. Hold on a minute. Daggone. The last piece is stuck in there. That's how tight of a hole it drilled. It don't want to release. Need to get that out. There it was. Drills a nice hole. All right. Least favorite thing in the world to do is drill holes. And what I hate more than drilling holes is buying drill bits. And away we go. Your friend. Quarter-inch steel takes a little while to drill through. It'll flat eat up a drill bit. Yeehaw! Woo! That's perfection times 2. If you want a good hole, get a hole saw. All right, there's our contraption. That looks like something you'd buy right out of a magazine. Ready to go? Slide that up on the frame, stick the leaf spring in there. The only setback is we have a factory bushing. It's junk. I had to drill it out with a drill the rubber out. All the other 3 holes are good. So that's a minor setback. We're going to find some bushing kits for stock square body springs. But we'll still get it up in there, get a bolt through there. It'll just be sloppy. We're not going to do the backs yet. Probably what I'll do on the back is maybe sort of, I don't know, order a flip shackle kit. I'm not sure what I'm going to do back there yet. So that took me 6 or 8 hours to build those brackets. And I ain't done. I got 2 more holes to drill. I spent $40 on bolts and hole saw. So I spent about $8 a piece on those hole saws. Hopefully I can get these next 2 holes with the one and save the other one for next time. Because you always buy 2. When you go to get something, buy 2 of them. You know why. You know why. Because you're going to ruin one. I got a little bit of everything left over from my electric days. Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, all kinds of stuff. A lot of dead batteries. Got so many batteries there all day. Air compressor's running. All right. It's a long process. But I tell you what, I ordered some coil over shock brackets a week ago, and they haven't even shipped yet. So this is still better than that. Made, drilled, ground. They ain't perfect, but they look damn good. Saved myself quite a bit of money right there. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do now is punch a hole in each side for a bolt. So let's try that. Come on, baby. It sticks because it's mushroom headed. Ha ha. All right, can we get one in the back? Whoop. You know it, dog. Man, didn't have to drill those holes. Perfect holes right there. Boop, 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 boop. That's a damn good looking bracket. I don't care who you are. 1/4 inch, gusseted, double gusseted. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater.
I mean, there's a really good life lesson there. People fuck with you, you fuck back with them 5 times as much, and look what happens. Next thing you know, you're in a fucking hotel room with 24 beer and a half bucket of chicken. That's how you fucking do things.
Let's hear it for the boy. Let's hear it for the man. I always hated that guy in Footloose when he wouldn't let them kids dance.
No more rock and roll!
That was bad. Alrighty. We just punched 6 holes. Look at her, man. That's a little crooked, but it's okay. It's okay. Those will eventually be plug welded anyway. The whole bracket's a little crooked right there. Now that I'm looking at it, farmers. All right. What we got here is your basic piece of shit, 1/2 ton, 6 lug rear end. It's not the rear end that's going to go in it, but it's the rear end that's going in it tonight because it's got the springs on it and it's already bolted up. So that's what we're going to do. It has some obnoxiously long U-bolts. So I'm probably going to cut those off right now because they're going to get in my way and piss me. Let's not waste our time. Let's get it in there. Let's just get it in there. I had it in position, but then I had to work on the spring bolts, so I had to move it. But I'm not used to these 1/2 ton rear ends. They're easy to use, easy to move around. I mean, oh shit! Go get her, helper! Drums. We're going to get the floor jacks out. All right. We are getting it. I left you for a minute. All right, I'm back. What we're trying to do is get the rear end in the fucking truck. So, sorry I cuss more when it's cold out. So, that's what we're trying to do. We need to go get the hangers, put them on there loosely, let them ride, find our sweet spot, get it up in there, start doing some measurements, take a break, do some more measurements, take a break. Pickup truck next to us is a square body leaf spring, same concept. And from the front hanger to the center of the axle, from here to there is 25 inches. So if I can find here to there, 25 inches, or I put a wheel on it, hang a plumb bob on it, find it that way, and then use holes in the frame as reference points. With also double checking, but right here we're just getting in the wiggle phase. We're wiggling it into place, trying to find a good place for it to be. And it's wearing me out because I'm alone. So, that's what we're doing. All right, let me explain a little bit about what's going on here. Why you got an 8-lug front end and a 6-lug rear end. Well, springs are the same. Okay, I may have already explained this, but the U-bolts that are on this axle and these spring, the U-bolt pad won't fit the axle I have. So I'm going to use this axle, since it's already together, to get the leaf springs where they need to be. Then I can take this axle out. I can slide the 8-lug 14-bolt in with new U-bolts and a new aftermarket cap. Boop. And then we'll build shock brackets. Rear's done. Well, we'll figure out what to do on the back. The reason I built the front hangers is because of my offset. I didn't really know where to look to get what I think that I needed. So I made my own. Hopefully they work out. I had to lift the door, lift it up, use my bobcat, move the jack stands forward. So now we can keep going. I got a mark on the other side of the fender. I need to get some tape and a plumb bob and hang that. Measure wheelbase, because the front axle is installed, give or take, hairline measurements. That has the right bolts, the right bushings. It's all coming back apart. The bed's just sitting on there. 2 people, me and her, can lift the bed off. What'll happen is I want to get this wheelbase somewhat established and then get the bed out of my life. And then I want to take the front end off in 3 seconds. And then I want to take the cab off with the lift or the track hoe. Then I want the bare frame with both axles mocked, tacked, kind of where they go. And then we can clean the frame. We like to paint the frames and the work we've done, make that look good, even no matter how we leave the body. And this truck honestly will be a work in progress. We're going to get it together, drive shafts, 4-wheel drive, 400, 208, stuff like that. Keep getting the rear end closer, dummy. Whoa! A lot better with 2 people. Yeah. This job would really be moving along fast if it wasn't for this bushing right here. That's what I'm talking about. So, it's all going together loosely. Don't be afraid to do work. Even though you got to go backwards, don't be afraid to keep moving forward. Look here. Your first look. Okay. Got too much jack stand down there. Let's take your tooth off. Would you just look at that beautiful apparatus I built right there? That's going to look good. That's going to be perfect. Let's go put the other one on. All right, we're on the driver's side. Leaf spring. The bushing's all hog-wallered out, but the cylinder's still there. So we'll just order some new bushings for the springs, but we can still move forward. This will be our location, our centering point. You get your first look if will it fit. All right. There she goes. The other one flipped out, fell down. So we're going to go over there and check that out. But we're getting there. We're getting closer. All right, we started out the day with hardly nothing. We're going to end the day with the rear end softly bolted into place. Softly. So, we got our hole drilled in our first shackle. We're going to bolt it loosely. We got nylon locking nuts. Keep everything in line. Got our sweet impact, Milwaukee impact wrench that we got. Helps get the job done. I like that. That's in there. Okay, everything builds off of that. It got ungodly. So I got my plumb bob sitting here. They got ungodly U-bolts. Look at those U-bolts. They're made for like having a block, but there's no block. So I'm gonna chop them off so I can loosen them up a little bit so I can get some movement out of these leaf springs. All right. The reason I'm loosening them is because we don't really know where this setup's been. I've dropped it a few times with the Bobcat. Springs could be sprung in and out. We just loosen them side to side, get our front point locked in. So that side's locked in. So now I just get the other side to bolt in the exact same place as that. Double check. We don't want to go down the road sideways. If we need any adjustment, we'll have around a 1/2 inch of adjustment up front. A 1/2 inch is a lot to square up a vehicle. So if you build it square, shouldn't have very bad problem. But we don't have no fancy frame rack or nothing. We just eyeball it. And that's been working for years. Okay, see now we got more movement side to side. I think that's what we was looking for. That's the missing link. Jack's in the way. See if we can, Jack stands under it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give her a little Jackie. Give her a little Jackie. All right, there was a hole in the bed. So instead of drilling holes, I stuck the string through, tied a nut to it. Keep it from pulling through. Now I just take my plumb bob and I can put it where I want it. Right on my mark, right on my money. My mark is my money, see? So now we'll double check all this, make sure it's where we want it, and the fenders can be moved once a few more holes, but that's a big deal. She's bolted on the front. Homemade brackets. Don't always build them for yourself. Take time, slow down, build some for people who can't do it for themselves. Jennifer is a very good companion, girlfriend. She's great around the house. She's an awesome cook. She's good in the garage. She's beautiful. So all at least I can do is build a sweet little truck she can ride around in. Look even prettier. Look at it. Hey, she's so cute. Jenny Junkin's gonna be on the streets, boys. Watch out. She'll pull you out of the ditch when you wreck. All right, it's Tuesday. We're back and got a lot done yesterday. Got the leaf spring brackets made. You should be up to date on that. Got it just kind of in there. Couple setbacks is I need to order new bushings for these leaf springs. So I could get it close, but I can't really lock her in. But what I plan on doing is getting it close, drilling one hole, putting one bolt in it. That's what I got on the other side. Once I figure out where I want it, I know where to put the shackle. It's just a matter of where the leaf spring is gonna The hanger, I mean, not the shackle. Got cold last night, had to pull out a bigger hat. I'm looking like a woolly mammoth, but whatever, is what it is. So, I got to laying around thinking about buying a shackle flip. About fell down. A shackle flip kit. Summit, Rough Country, Tough Country, Rough Stuff, everybody, whoever has a steel maker, welder, they make brackets. And a shackle flip kit is just what it sounds like. Put your shackle upside down. That's your flex in your rear end. Your front spring hanger is your location. Your rear spring hanger is your absorption. So, they're $300, $200, $300, $400 and up. So there's no way. I haven't even spent that much yet. So between the coil towers, the Heim joints, and the steel, I don't even have $400 in this yet. We got 10-bolt half-ton on-leaf springs hanging in the back, one spring hanger bolted on. The other spring hanger goes exactly where that spring hanger goes. We'll make 16 measurements here in a few minutes, and we will lock her down, Judy. So I got to thinking about the back, and I knew that I had a shackle. And I also remember throwing a leaf spring left over from Dick Banjo in the dump trailer with a shackle. But I thought maybe there was a chance I had two shackles. And I started looking around, and I did not have two shackles. I had one shackle. Bummer. But winter's got me looking rough. What I did find, and I didn't know I had, was these spring hangers. I took these off the Suburban frame. These were the rear spring hangers. I couldn't use them on Dick Banjo. Can't use them on this. They got too much from the flat to where my hand is. It's too thick. But what they do have is a strong, bent, pressed, curved fit. Now, I learned this from the front hangers, that it's going to take me about 4 to 6 hours to build some nice hangers, and I still need these. So I got on eBay, and for $39.99, I got two new ones with 4 bolts coming. I went and bought bolts yesterday. They're $5 a piece. So 2 new shackles should be here in a day or two. So I got to looking at these. How can I make what I have work? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave them. I'm going to make a line on this table. And I wish I had a laser, but I don't. If I had a laser, it'd be real easy. Set a laser over there, put a pencil on there, mark it. But I'll figure it out. I'll measure it with, like this. Here's my laser. Whoop, 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 like that. In and out, baby. And I'll mark it after I measure where they need to be. And by the time I get those, I got flat 1/4 inch steel that I bought at the scrapyard. That's about 7 inches wide. I've made all this from that one big long piece of steel, probably weighed 100 pounds. So that was a good buy. Economical, jack up the truck is what's going on here. So my next step is to lock down this front spring hanger exactly where the other one is. Bolt it on. Even though I need a new bushing for the springs. Even though I don't have those, I could get the spring hangers exactly where they need to be. I'll start shaving those down. I will punch holes in them for bolts. Everything will get welded on, but I can punch holes in them for bolts. And then I'm just doing the old tack where I just got it kind of rolling, and then everything will come apart. As soon as the bed could come off actually right now, because this spring hanger's in. So the bed could actually come off, go outside, jerk the fenders off, put them in it, forklift it right outside, set it down. But that's what's getting ready to happen. It's got a 350 with a 350 trans. The 350 trans was good years ago. But I have a 400 208 going back in it, 4-wheel drive, aluminum case. Should work. If it don't, we'll rebuild it. But it worked when it was in the truck when the frame broke, so it should still work. As long as the fluid's red. That's where we're at. Budget Jenny Junkin. People keep saying, have you named it? I think it's just Jenny Junkin. You're going to see her out in this. Little V8 rumbling, pulling out in front of you, getting on it. Dreadlocks flying out the windows, giving you a middle finger if you piss her off. Let's get that done for her. All right, here we are putting on the front spring hanger on the passenger side. I went over to the driver's side because I already got it bolted on and I wanted to make sure where it was at. So I went in here to where my finger is. That's where the leaf spring hanger was on the other rear end, the front hanger. So those holes were riveted in on both the sides. So that's a good reference point. So I was 9 3/16 from the edge of that rivet hole to the edge of my other bracket. So I made me a line. Got this bracket clamped in. Now I'm gonna, the holes here, they'll eventually just be spot welded and ground flat, look good, just like they're molded to the frame. These just allow me to bolt it on as I'm building it. Once I start tacking it in, working on the frame itself, I'll take the bolts out, fill in the holes, spot weld it all in. But it allows me to mock it all up and keep moving forward, get my wheelbase right, get everything right. Then I can pull the body off, do what I gotta do, put the body back on, bingo bango, project keeps moving. So now what I need to do is take my handy tape measure, my Milwaukee Home Depot bought tape measure, and sorry I'm shaky. Go in here and just get side to side, get me a common measurement. About, it looks like it's going to be in the 5 1/4 range. Then I'll measure my hangers and I'll shave them and leave enough room for my 1/4 inch plate. And then we'll have a shackle flip and we will gain some lift there and some pinion angle adjustment help. So maybe these are stock springs, no blocks. Hopefully the plan is just to run no blocks, 3/4 ton rear end, 14 bolt Chevy, and keep on moving. This is between this and Dick Banjo, I'm using up parts that are sitting around that, ordinarily I would never get to. Like, what's the point of collecting parts if you're not going to build something? Even if you get it slapped together to keep momentum. I mean, that'll give you momentum, motivation. That is momentum, which gives you motivation. I mean, square body Mad Dog header, Hummer wheel, bogger, 8 lug stuff going on. This is an all around win. So I hear diesel rumbling around down there. Who knows who that could be? So we'll keep at it. All right, we're back. We got a bolt in the spring hanger. It's not going anywhere. It's perfectly in line with the other one. We'll double check all this when there's no cab on it, but that will get us going. I ordered rear shackles. I ordered rear U-bolts for the 8 lug rear end. It's sitting outside. It won't spin for some reason, and this was already all assembled. So as soon as the U-bolts get here, I'll get that rear end. This one dropped out, throw it back in the pile. The 8 lug rear end put in. Then we can get wheels and tires on it. Start have us a roller. So that's what we're gonna do. I got these like I showed you a minute ago. We're gonna give them a little slice and dice action. Don't need no special tools. You just need dedication, motivation, inspiration, all that. I'm gonna get down here, do some measuring, get my spring straight and see what my distance is, and then we'll go from there. All right, we're still here, and we've been messing around with this rear end placement. We got the front hangers locked in, and you know, sometimes you get lucky. I thought I was going to have to trim these hangers down. I was telling you about having to trim them down, make them work, and I got in here, took my one good shackle and my bolts and mocked it up. And man, that's high. I'll have that. That won't be above the frame. I just got to lower the jack a little bit is why it's right there. But you get the point here. So on a stock square body frame, that hanger would have been upside down and that shackle would have went, those open forks would have pointed to the sky, and then your spring would have laid in that. And when you hit bumps and you got too much, that shackle would move a lot, so you wasn't tongue tied or landlocked or in a bind is what I'm looking for, in a bind. So the rear shackle is your flexibility on the setup. So my goal is to get a little weight on the axle. Once I get my front bushing kits installed, I'll put weight on the axle and kind of try to get these spread a little. They're not going to spread much. I want to try to get that shackle straight up and down. That way it'll give it a chance to move both ways for maximum flexibility. And that's going to work out good because I'll punch a few more holes in that, bolt it on, knock that rivet out, clean it up, bolt it on. The other side's the same. If I had 2 more bolts and another shackle, I could have it bolted in. But I ordered the shackles. They should be here in a few days. And I ordered U-bolts for the 14-bolt rear end. Light duty this time. We're going to end up putting a 14-bolt in it, but they'll all fit the same spring pads width. So that's pretty good. Just a short amount of time, we got Chevy axles under a 40 Chevy truck using the stock frame, which is in good shape. I can't say that they're all going to be in good shape. I can't say that's the best way to do it. Obviously, if you're going to be mud bogging or jumping or abusing this thing, you would want a stronger frame. We all know that. But this is a good enough setup for what we're going to be doing with it. Shows, light off-roading. I'd like to take this truck and take Banjo out to the woods, Royal Blue off-road park or something. Go do a overnight stay or something with them, start a little fire, and just go do our own thing. So that's that. I've got rough stuff, 12-inch from the frame up, towers coming to go down. They'll mount down here on the axle. You may ask yourself, why are you doing it this way? And here's why. I'll tell you why I'm doing it this way. So let me set the tripod up, and I'll tell you why that I did Dick Banjo this way and why I'm doing this truck this way. So everyone's 4-link crazy, everyone's Heim joint crazy, all that. I'm driving truck crazy. So the reason I did it like this with the U-bolts in the bar is U-bolts from the beginning of U-bolts time have proved their ability to be a dominant clamping force. If installed correctly, they do not come loose. They will not come loose if you have the right U-bolts and the right fine thread nuts and stuff. So by doing it this way, I'm not limited to a 10-bolt front axle. I didn't spend 40 hours grinding, cleaning, shaving, welding a 10-bolt axle with 4-link brackets, panhard bar brackets, and all that, just to for it to not be a Dana 60. Let's be honest, because if you're trying to build anything for strength and you're not using at least a Dana 60, you're wasting your time. Excuse me, I got worked up over that, emotional. So that's why I do it this way on certain vehicles. Now the van, we're putting a Dana 60 in, but we're keeping it leaf spring, keeping it simple on that. So that's why it's clamped, piped, not welded with brackets and 4-links. You know, I mean, I know there's fancy ways and articulation, triangulation, ejaculation, masturbation, and all that. But we want to drive ours. We want to drive it down the road, smile, straight, arm on the dash, hand on the wheel, arm on the windshield, window. I got all confused thinking about getting emotional. So that's about all I can do on the suspension until I get a few more parts. But you may have noticed these nasty headers. Got that flow, dog? They're rusty, but they're new. Some creep had them and fired them up and let them sit around. But they're in good shape, and they're sought after. They're $650 headers. They're made by Mad Dog Headers, Mad Dog Corporation, Mad Dog Industries, whatever. And they make these for square body Chevys. And the trick to these is it's a fender well header. You got to cut your fender well, but these headers are supposed to fit square body, stock engine location, stock steering shaft. You're supposed to be able to bolt these guys on and look cool, dumping out your fenders. And I seen old Liar Mouth had them online one day, and I beat him down on price, and he blocked me after he took my money. So, or I blocked him, never mind. But so that's where they came from. They're Mad Dog headers for a 73 to 87 Chevy. So if you ever want the look, or if you wonder where they come from, that's what they are. But I just happened to buy them off him for like 200 bucks, and I had them hanging on a hook. They fit. Now, if the motor was an inch farther and an inch higher, they would fit a lot better. But the bad part on this truck is right here. You could throw a cat through that. Little tiny cat, throw it right through that, and it would disappear. So I already have this header on. We still got about a half-inch daylight back there where it's not up against the head. We got to get into the cab. Now, most people wouldn't do that. Most people would change the headers. But I want these headers to flow under the running boards, kick out, have a nice sound, have that 70s glass packy blah, 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 sound. So the fenders will cover them, and then they'll be under the running board. So I think they'll look sweet, and they'll warm your feet at the same time. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to chop this right here. Don't be afraid to go at it. It's already been rusting and stuff, so I'm not going to hurt it. I'm going to take cutoff wheel to it till these headers fit. I haven't even started on the other side. So let's do this together. Let's cut this 40 Chevy. The strongest points of it, let's cut right into to fit some headers. How about it? All right. Now, I knew I had cut on it some and cut some stuff out of the way that we didn't need, and I got it up there, kind of seeing where we're at, but it don't fit. I got to get ballsy and take more out. So first thing I got to do is pull the bolts off. And I grabbed the wrong wrench because every header bolt I got is different size. I'm back with a Hyper Tough Chrome Bandium. That's all I use. Hyper Tough Chrome Bandium. What should we name these tools? Hyper Tough? Hell yeah. Perfect name. They'll sell like hotcakes. Get your Hyper Tough tools here. I don't even know where they sell Hyper Tough. Dollar store? Hopefully it's the only one I got. I thought somebody had been in here before because it's unreasonably solid right there, but they haven't. So basically this piece here is a additional strength adder. Kind of follows the curve, comes down, but that's about all it does. It don't go under the cab. That might have been replaced at some time. But under here is the cab mount, way in here on top of the frame. So cutting into this out here won't hurt anything as long as we don't cut too much. Not me! Let's cut some. I want to take an angle at it. Save that, baby. Now we're in here. We ain't heard nothing yet. We're not into the meat of it yet. Don't be afraid to cut your hot rod, man. gotta open up your heart. Open up your heart. Let that hate out.
You've written 4 books now.
I've written 6 books. They published 4.
We ain't there yet. More. Now we're getting there. Making this header fit, boys. Cut the metal, make it fit. This is useless here. Let's cut this out. Now, we ain't afraid to Bondo, so what I'll probably do is slide a piece in behind there. Notice I didn't cut this lip out. Now this is 1940 metal. It's gonna be very hard to weld, so that's why I'm gonna slip up behind there, and I'll probably do some, probably drill some holes. We'll make it happen. It's not gonna be perfect, but the fender comes, you're only gonna see like this much of it. The fender comes almost all the way down. Get what I mean? So we wanted that out of there. We need to take a little bit more out up here. We're almost there. One thing I've noticed about these headers is the pipes are really close to the bolts, so every bolt is a challenge. But that's the headers, that's every header. All right, plenty of clearance. Even if I weld a little piece of sheet metal in there, which I'm gonna do. You've been wondering, is he gonna fix that? Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Wanna make sure the header fits. Header fits. It'll actually be out a little bit with a gasket, so we're good. And we'll make a little piece to tack weld in there. Fix that, then I'll make a piece for that. Start getting that installed. We'll go from there. All right. What we're going to do here is we're going to mash them up. This is the back wall out of Dick Banjo 35 Ford cab, and it's comparable in age. It's a little bit older, so we're going to use it to make our little panel there. This is a piece we cut out. Let me show you how quick you can do something. First off, let's clean it up. All right, we're gonna go a little bigger. The Ford metal feels thicker. I can tell you that right now. Okay, that's the exact size. We're gonna cut that bigger. We got our 1935 metal. We got our 1940 hole. Let's see what happens. Yeah. No special tools needed. Work with what you got. Look at that. I mean, I'm talking minutes. I brought a hammer over. All right, man. I'm gonna show you something real nice right here. Got these from my buddy Elton. Brought me over some tools one day that his family had used. Quick go fasteners. Stick that in there. So you just work your way around until you got your panel in there. That's real simple. Put a few more in there and then we can move on to working on other stuff. Alright. So I didn't cut into the lip. Kept it right there. Perfect. Need a bigger piece. All right, I'm gonna break out the old Hyper Tough, pull the header back off. We know she'll fit. Plenty of room. We'll make a panel for that. We'll move on to the other side. Need to trim this inner corner off. We need a welder. All right, I say it every time, we're out of gas, but we're almost out of gas. So this outside plate was the strength of 1940 for the dirt roads. So I tacked it back in, and then right here it's loose. I'll try to get some tacks in there, work my way out. All right, we're starting to get some structure. cut that off. Cut that off. We're done with some of these. All right, we need to take a break, clean our tip, check our gas level, trim what we ain't going to work with off because there's no reason to work with it. There's still a little rust and stuff there. You know, this isn't a restoration. This is that's way better than it was though. So just a quick save everything. See, this is a good example of saving stuff. I cut the back out of Dick Banjo and it was probably junk, but I saved it, so now I'm using it. Dick Banjo. This is like Adam and Eve. Giving part of my dick to Eve for her junking. You'll get it. So, we maintained our line. We didn't have to mess with that. Everything you do is a little bit better. Is it going to win a concourse awards? Hell no. Are we going there? Hell no. We're going to drive it through the mud. Alright, most of you obviously know why I'm bouncing around. Don't want to cause it to warp, and nothing here is warped yet. Still looking good. Everything's flowing good. Off camera, I'll just sit there and tack. We'll tack that all in. Because I underlapped it like that, we'll have to use a little Bondo, but that's alright. A little Bondo, fill it in. Duralast, get the green stuff, get something good. It'll last forever. And this will give us solid mount for our fender, because somewhere in here the fender has to mount, go through good metal. That's probably what rusted the part right there out, was holding moisture from the fender and everything. Usually when there's intersection of body panels, they tend to hold moisture. So I know this looks crazy. We'll go ahead and trim this off. We're in the money. It's actually better sounding. Ford metal is thicker than the Chevy metal. $14, $16. Crazy. Seen it here first. Alright. We gotta go back, finish it all, smooth it all, make it look good, because y'all gonna walk up and look at it now. Let's double check our header fit. Now we got a nice spot for our header. Plenty of room. Mission accomplished. You just watched me do that in 30 minutes. Now it's going to take me 3 hours to polish all and make it all look good, get it all done. But that's life, man. I wouldn't even have worked on it if I didn't have all you guys watching, rooting us on. So I appreciate that. I'm all in. So if you enjoy what we're doing, keep watching, because we are all in. We're going to go around, finish tacking all that so I got a solid tack all the way around, and I can clean it up. And then we will shoot it with some Bondo and primer, and life goes on. All right. We fix the rust. We shave that baby like a... I can't come up with nothing that isn't sexual or nasty right there. But we shave that corner. So, clean that corner. Look at that. Woo! Header fits. At least ½ inch gap between the header and the body. That's good news. So, those are little victories. Like I said, I'll come back and tidy up everything when you ain't looking. Come on, tripod. But right now you're looking. So before I end this video, I'm gonna whack that side. Since you've already seen me do it, you might as well watch me do it again. Let me grab my trusty tool. We're gonna whack that off. All right, this header fits a little better. It's really almost the similar, so it tells you I got the motor in there pretty straight. So we're just going to try to simulate what we did over there. I'll go ahead. You can see the fender right here. Right here is the fender line, I guess, because they had holes in it right there. But this is junk. You may not be able to tell because it's black, but it's Swiss cheese. Stick my marker through it. So, same thing I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna save the belt line. I'm gonna probably come up like this and then across. I'm gonna save this here. And I'll cut down right here, probably right here. Give myself enough room to overlap. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Cutting on a 40 Chevy. Cut it! He's still in there working out. That might be Jay this time. These boys are workout machines around here. Template. You've seen it. All right. Now, this. Get over here, template. All right, let's see. So this only goes down to there. This isn't even necessary. I cut it off the other side. We're gonna cut it off this side. Wet splash apron delete kit. All right, how high do we want to go? Over there, we came right into this corner down. That's what we're going to do here. I'm going to have to get up at a different angle. Let's move, kids. You got to be very careful grinding around your phone with the screen facing because you'll ruin your phone. Like that Chinese guy that cuts up Porsches. Yeah. All right, more of the same. We got her cut out, and let's see if she fits. Beautifully, just like the other side. Plenty of room in there. Got a little triangle and a patch panel. That's going to work perfectly. All right, quick recap. Why do we do what we're doing here? Let's talk about the investment of it, okay? Tires and wheels aside, never pay attention to what I have for tires and wheels because that's never ending. I move them around a lot. That don't matter. What does matter is we had the truck for over a year now, and it's been sitting in the yard, and nothing struck me. So something you have to learn about me, it has to get in me. I have to be involved. I have to want it. You know what I mean? So I just didn't want another pickup truck with a half-ass suspension, straight axle 1940 Chevy. I just didn't want it. Didn't want to work on it. Didn't want to put it on an S10 frame. Didn't want to build cab mounts. Didn't want to worry about the ugly ass S10 frame. Didn't want to lower an S10. Didn't want an S10 rear end. Didn't want nothing. Didn't want none of that. So I started looking at the frame and started measuring. All this started because I tried to see if a four-wheel drive axle would bolt into the factory anemic leaf springs. And that's where this evolved. I started thinking, I started figuring. I got more axles laying out there that I mean, junk. These are junk. I didn't pay much for them. But I bought, I try to buy complete junk trucks and get as many parts as I can out of them. This motor and transmission's out of a motorhome. The axles are out of a blue plow truck that's been on our channel that was broken in half. We've got a lot of parts out of it. As a matter of fact, both axles and transmission transfer case is going to go in this. And I never thought I'd get that kind of money out of it when I bought it. I basically bought it for this front axle for the van because I was having a hard time finding axles. So one thing leads to another, and here we are. Purchase price on this truck is hard to determine because my dad was buying a 41 Plymouth two-door off a guy, and the car was a certain price, but if you bought two, you got a better price. And I don't know, he was feeling generous or something one day, and he said, go get that Plymouth, and here's some extra money and get that truck. So we wasn't planning on it. That's why it hasn't been really at the front of our line, but it is at the front of the line now, partially because we have a big old ass trailer and we just haul Dick Banjo around. We drive it, but to far shows, don't get me started on why you trailer it, because. And I have a really cool tow rig too, and I like to be seen driving it. So that's why we tow things sometimes. But there's room on the trailer. There's room on the trailer for a short bed, four-wheel drive Chevy. Sponsorship, let's talk that. They want to cut us a little bit better deal and stuff. Let's run it. Let's do it. If somebody was going to sell you blowers at a cheaper price, you'd have a blower, right? So that's through hard work. That's just a dealership thing. That's not gifts or nothing. We haven't received anything like that. So this truck's built out of junk. This truck is another example of what you could do if you find things when they're for sale at good prices and strike and have the money and go get it. We don't own the campground, so we do this out of our own money we earn working there. So it's not like we just have, if I had a lot of money, I'd be working on nicer stuff. Let's just be honest about that. So I'm excited. We got the headers fitting in this episode. We got 2 axles under it in this episode. Well, maybe just one, I don't know. I just hand her the phones. She did some drywall work. It's cold like this. We can get more mechanic work done. I'm getting ready to put a clutch in Wyatt's truck and get back on that. It's still sitting right there. I've been working on it. We've got Michael Voltal's intake on there the other night and stuff. So moving right along. Might be getting a carburetor for that'll go right on that. One of my newfound friends through this adventure is saying he's going to send me a carburetor. The dude. So, man, you meet some of the nicest people. I don't even know what to say about that. So that's what we're doing. Well, this isn't the end, but this is the end of the mechanic work. So, just doing a lot of fab work. I started watching a lot of YouTube people. I won't mention like bigger shows, and they may have like the word fab shop in the title, or I don't know, but I don't see that anymore. Once people reach a certain level of new house, new shop, they tend to not be doing anything cool anymore. I don't really understand that. The will it starts and the drive it homes, that's been done so many times. We're just trying to build our channel on grassroots. What you see is what you get. I work right outside these doors, so it's easy for me to come in here and work. We're all in. We're here trying to establish ourselves and meet new friends, and we want our hobby to carry us around to various places that we haven't been. That's the dream come true for us, is if you can make a little bit of money to go enjoy what you do more. Find a way to turn your passion into profit. And one thing that I know is where your treasure is, is where your heart will be also. So you think about that. And if you enjoy your job and stuff, that's where your treasure is. But if you're grinding it out for the man, that's not where your treasure is. That's not where your heart's going to be. The reason I'm able to just keep pumping on different things nonstop is because that's where my heart is. That's my treasure. So I wired houses for 30 years. Got a lot of people patting you on the back because their house didn't burn down, and maybe you dug a nice ditch, or maybe you had some good ladders or something, but that shit's fucking stupid. I want to be known for what I can build. It's not just having an idea, it's about getting your idea down and out. And this truck has sat for a year, but in that time frame, we completely built Dick Banjo, which is, it's like 2 builds in one. It's over the top. It wasn't just this truck's going fast compared to that. And that's why I didn't want to build a new frame. There's nothing wrong with this frame. This truck's just going to be a nice driver, enjoy some shows in it, just have more mules in the stable. So it's cold out. It's 8 o'clock. I heard there's steak for dinner. So peace and grease, man. We love you watching, and we can't wait to meet all of you. We're not going to stop till everybody knows our name. So I feel like Mr. Rogers getting unchanged here in front of you, but it's enough talking for me. We'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Watch us live.